What is going on, everybody? Trying a new little intro out there. We're getting better every day. We're building the brand. Welcome back to another episode of Gentlest Men. This is episode 4, and I've made a few upgrades. As you can see, I have a full body now. I'm not just, I'm not just a commission. I'm not just a little guy. I'm not cut in half. I don't have this outfit in real life, so don't expect to ever see it. But without further ado, we are at episode 4 of the Gentlest Men podcast. Now, you're probably wondering, are you going to do a PowerPoint every single time? No, I'm not. I'm a lazy sack of shit. I'm not giving you a PowerPoint every single time, and I'm not going to be doing the news of gaming and anime and awards every single time. But what am I going to do when I don't do those things? Well, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to give you the latest and greatest on what to expect from the Bucket Brigade, No Name Gaming, the Viking Weeb, and I'm just gonna bullshit a little bit. I'm gonna be real. So for starters, let's do the Bucket Brigade. We just finished Elden Ring, the DLC, and the game. Actually, I think we did the full-on everything all in one go. It was great. I got to do a different ending that I've never seen before, so that was cool. I really enjoyed the DLC, wholeheartedly. The DLC slaps. I like the multiplayer aspect of it. It's pretty cool. And by far, the Ashes of War and all the cool stuff you see in Elden Ring is great. But I don't want to spend too much time on Elden Ring. I will say we are moving on to Remnant 2, so if you're interested in Souls-like games or games that are hard and make people pissed, for No Name Gaming, I believe he's midway through The Evil Within. So you can expect to see him finishing up very soon and moving on to either The Evil Within 2, or I believe he actually said he's going to try to postpone until Silent Hill 2 drops, and he's going to jump on that train. So be on the lookout for that. I do believe he is going to do Evil Within 2. I do also believe he's going to run Outlast Trials, so be on the lookout for that. For myself, for the rest of the month of October, am going to be bringing you at least 1 to 2 times a week a new horror game / demo that I've never tried before. I'll also be TCG Card Simulator. I'm going to be doing that. I did a rating of it, I want to say towards the end of September here, and I really enjoyed it. I used to watch Queso a lot on Twitch. I haven't as much anymore, but his Supermarket Simulator made me want to try one of these simulator games. So I will be streaming that in the future. It will not be a 1 through 10 rating. I will be streaming it. And we're going to see how far we can get. We're going to see what we can do. I do also want to mention and throw in there, I'm going to do a special at the beginning of October and at the end of October. The one at the beginning, we're going to go through popular horror movies or horror genres and stuff like that, and we're going to rate them, and then we're going to do all the mainstream big stuff. Or I'm sorry, we'll do the mainstream big stuff in the beginning, and at the end of the year, we're going to give you things you have to check, things you have to see, the new horror, the new goods, the new bads. We're going to rate those 1 through 10 in the beginning of the month. And when I say the good stuff, I mean like Halloween, Friday the 13th, Hellraiser, shit, fucking everything you can think of, Hocus Pocus, Bewitched. We're going to rate them all. And then come the end of October, we're going to go through all the greats of, probably 2024, all the stuff you should look at. I know the new Beetlejuice movie released. So we'll be going through all of that stuff, rating all those 1 through 10. So be on the lookout for our October specials here. Also, Gentlest of Men will continue. We will either be doing The latest and greatest, bringing you the news when we can. Sometimes there won't be any news. There won't be any updates. And that's when we're going to do stuff like this, where we're just going to talk bullshit, let you know what's coming up next, endorse ourselves a little bit, and try to be real. This is also a good Q&A, so for whatever reason, if you want to ask questions, you can always attach stuff in our page. We're making posts, whether it be the Bucket Brigade, No Name Gaming, or myself, the Viking Weeb. Feel free to make posts. Feel free to ask and talk to us and let us know what you want more of. What content do you want to see? What do you want us to talk about? Because that's how we get better, and that's how we get better for you. Now, I'm not going to sit here and blab all day long and tell you what we can do. I'm going to show you some stuff that we are going to do. So, with that being said, I want to bring up a few talking points I have today. One of them is the Alien versus Predator / Alien / Predator world. Now, contrary to popular belief, Aliens and Blade Runner are the same universe. A lot of people say it's theory, but I really can see it being not only connected, but we're not being told no. We're not being told no. And that's really the big one. If they're not saying no, which when I say they, I mean your directors, your producers, your writers, then it's got to be yes. Because they usually really come right out and say no, which is super cool because now we got Romulus. So we have a little bit of our gap filled in with the Alien timeline. We need more Predator stuff. Now, I know Prey was great. The last 2 Predator movies weren't, to include AVP Requiem or whatever the hell that was. We don't need another one of those. But Predators need more love, man. I want to see more of the female Predators come out because they are even greater warriors than the men. In most places, you can see that the females in a species, in an animal, like for instance, female lions, female birds, female fish, a lot of them do a majority of the hunting. A lot of them are top of the food chain. The men are just used for making children and a show of dominance, even though it's really the woman that is the dominant one. I say that to say it's the same for the Predators. And that's super, super cool. Think about it. All the Predators we've seen up until now have all been male, at least on the big screen. If you read the comics, then, well, if you know, you know. Also, don't procreate. One or the other. Only one comes out alive. You know what I mean? And it's usually the female. So anyway, back off. Rule 34 exists, but not for you. And if you don't know what that means, don't type Rule 34 into Google. I won't explain it, but you'll figure it out. I don't want you to figure out from Google. Ask a friend. Ask a nerd. Don't ask us / me. But no, I'm really excited to see more love for the Predator franchise. Alien's getting all the love right now, which I'm happy about because Alien was kind of dead in the water for a long time. So it's kind of nice to see Alien getting the love it deserves. Predator got love, but it didn't need that love. So, moving forward, next topic, some games to look out for in the month of October here. We have Dragon Ball Z Sparkling Zero. For those of you that are not Dragon Ball fans or you're not fighting game fans, think of it like this. The old school arcade games have only gotten better, and as adults, we no longer have to get tickets or coins to play more. This is going to be the peak Dragon Ball Z fighter game that we've had in a long time. Now, I haven't got invested since Battle of the Gods, but this is going to be great. Now, I didn't like Xenoverse 2 as much. It was still good. It had its place. Xenoverse 1, I liked it, but it wasn't perfect. It wasn't a perfect game in my opinion. But Sparkling Zero looks like it's really going to be not the same cut and dry, the same. We're going through the Frieza saga again. We're going through the Cell saga. No, it's not. It's not that again. Don't get me wrong. You can still play through different arcs and stuff like that. That's the whole point of Dragon Ball games. That's why we keep buying them. But this is super cool. I'm really excited for it. I know my buddy Angel from the Bucket Brigade, he's really excited for it as well. If you have been tuning in to our streams every week here, especially the Elden Ring ones, he's been nonstop about Sparkling Zero and wanting to talk about the roster, wanting to talk about the moves and everything like that. And I'm excited too, but I'm trying really hard to refrain from entertaining him because he can talk about it for hours, just like I can talk about our next topic for hours. For those of you out there that aren't super into video games, you can go ahead and fast forward about 5 minutes because I'm about to take 5 minutes of time of strictly Monster Hunter Wilds. For those of you who don't know what Monster Hunter is probably my favorite franchise ever. I started with the very first one. I was introduced by one of my buddies, Casey, from back home. One of my best friends ever. He introduced me to this series, and I started playing all the old ones. I was getting into the newer ones, and lo and behold, this series won a special place in my heart because it was hard, but as you beat stuff, things became easier. So it's almost like the game starts off difficult, but eventually over time, as long as you invest your time into it, it's no longer difficult. It just gets easier as you go. And then, some monsters, they're harder than normal, and there's a gimmick, and there's this, and there's that. But overall, Monster Hunter, the series, has been amazing. I think the first one came out in, I want to say it was 2006 or 2007. I want to say. Not sure. But great series. Great series. I've played them all. I think the best of the best is either Ultimate or Nope. I almost said Generations. Nope. It's either Ultimate or Freedom. The Freedom Unite, which is Monster Hunter 2, had probably the most monsters, and it had the most weapons. That's back when you had the medium bow gun, all that fun jazz. I'm not going to get into the specifics. I'm not trying to tune in to a specific niche of people. I'm just trying to give a nice little overview. But for those of you that don't know what Monster Hunter is, and you're wondering, what is this guy blabbing about? Monster Hunter is a game where you go out as yourself. You just make a character, whatever you want. You pick a weapon. I think there's a total of 12 or 13 now-ish. But you pick a weapon, you go out, you kill some monsters. You make equipment out of those parts. You hunt bigger monsters. You get their parts. Maybe you have to hunt them a few times. Eventually, you get the parts you need. You can make more and better equipment. But it spiderwebs off. You can do different stuff. You can make different builds. Maybe this bow that you want to make needs more rock than it needs monster parts. So now you're mining more. Now you're going out and exploring and mining more stuff. You're not hunting as many monsters. And when you fight the next big thing, you're good. You beat it easy. But maybe in the future, you'll need to go back and beat that monster again a few more times, like everyone else did, to maybe get something different. It's a rinse and repeat process of basically you go out, you hunt something, you get its parts to hunt something bigger and better. So there's usually a really shit storyline that goes with it. No one ever watches it for the story. No one plays it for the story. But the lore is pretty cool, as well as you feel super powerful. I love the series. I love the game. I think so far, the one most people have heard of is Monster Hunter World. Now, Monster Hunter World brought a bunch of people to this series. I would say Monster Hunter World is to Monster Hunter fans as Kento Miura is when he passed away and everyone started loving Berserk all of a sudden because it got the limelight that it deserved because his death was in the news. And everyone was like, another anime creator died, another manga creator died. Let's go look at his stuff, see what he did. And now Berserk's getting a bunch of love, as it should. I mean, I'm biased. It's my favorite anime of all time. If you haven't watched it, don't scar yourself now. But, yeah, so it just became mainstream. It was super niche. It was super small. Not a lot of people knew about it. And then Mira dies, and boom, you can hop on Amazon right now and buy a Berserk shirt. I remember when you would hop on Amazon, or shit, you could hop on anywhere. Google, anything. The only way you were getting Berserk stuff was like your Etsy shops or from Dark Horse, which is the company that makes the manga. Every now and again, you'd see something drop through a random company that did a little collab, but it was never popular. When Mira died, it took off. And I'm happy it took off, but I'm also not happy it took off because I'm one of those people, I like enjoying things that not everybody knows about. Call me a gatekeeper, if you will. That's just how I feel. Now, you can win me over. You can win me over. If you like Berserk and you're not going to sit there and say, I'm like Guts, I'm a struggler, and you just enjoy the manga, you know what? Good for you. You deserve to read it. Hopefully you're not scarred by it. Hopefully you can get past all the trauma and sadness of it, and you can look at it as just a great story. But if you get the tattoo of the brand, or you think you're like Guts because you struggle, you're cringy, and you're not... I don't want to say you're not a real fan, because that's not for me to determine. I don't feel like I have that power. I'm not Kinto Mira's best friend or his son. You know what I mean? Personal opinion, yeah, you're cringy, and I don't really like you. Especially if you have a tattoo. You don't even... The people that go out and get the tattoo of the brand... Now, don't get me wrong. I thought about it. I thought about it a lot. But my lovely, beautiful wife, she talked me into not getting it. And her reasoning was perfect. Perfect. She said, do you know how it ends? How Berserk ends. Do you know how a show ends? So before you go get that symbol, because the answer is obviously no, right? Before you go get that symbol, maybe you should figure out how it ends. What if that's like he cuts it off of himself or something in the end? Or maybe he has to get rid of it somehow or cleanse it. Why would you want to get that if your favorite person in the manga, right, or anime, right? Shout out to Studio Eclipse. Thank you for doing that. I really appreciate you. Send me your Patreon. Yeah. Why would you get something on you if it's going to be a negative thing for the main character? It doesn't make you look cool. Sure, the symbol's cool, but if you want a cool symbol on your arm, why not go get the Elden Ring symbol or the Bloodborne symbol? Or, shit, actually, go get the Blasphemous symbol. The little symbol from Blasphemous that's like, I don't know, a 1-for-1 almost for the Berserk brand. Took a lot of inspo from Berserk. You'll see a lot of inspo from Berserk actually everywhere. Either that or JoJo's, to be honest. If it's not in Berserk, it's probably from JoJo's. It's just, that's the way the cookie crumbles. I don't make the rules. Right, moving on. Let's hit some other topics here that aren't as, well, biased. So one of the things I'm really looking forward to is, first of all, I'm in autumn. I say that to say I love fall time. Fall's the best. And where I've been living at, it's been nonstop every single day. Overcast, a little dreary. The leaves are already changing colors. I'm so stinking excited. This time of year slaps. And for all those people out there that say, my favorite month's summer, mine's winter, mine's spring. No, it's not. No, it's not. Everyone knows the best weather is when you can wear a hoodie, pants, shorts, a tank top, a jacket. Like, when you can wear anything. Literally, you can wear anything. There's no restrictions of heat or cold sweat or wind. You can wear whatever you want. That's the best fucking. That's the best. The best season. That's the best season. So I don't know who you're kidding. You're either telling yourself lies. I mean, because I don't believe you. I'm not gonna. I refuse. But you're probably wondering why I'm rambling and why I'm continue on. This isn't the news. I'm not going to give you a quick, short, little up-to-date talk of what to expect. Just have my talking points. Going to go through some stuff. I actually have some lore to drop about coffee. Now, if you don't know, I'm a huge coffee drinker. I love coffee. But no. I'm not a latte guy. I'm not an Americano, cappuccino. I'm not even really a bougie coffee drinker, but when I explain this to you, you will think I am. I like simple stuff. I like black coffee. That's it. Every now and again, I'll get a little sugar in there. And to be honest with you, over the past year, I've been weaning off of sugar in my coffee because I used to put like a tablespoon. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, right? Just a little sweetened. But I've been getting more and more into just straight black coffee. Nothing in it. No flavor, no shot, nothing. And it's made me kind of a connoisseur. Like, I hate to say it the way I'm going to say it, but different beans and different companies and different styles, they all taste different. So, how do you determine what's good and what's bad? Well, I'm here to tell you. It's all preference. I currently buy Lavazza. What I do every morning is I wake up, I buy Lavazza. Well, not wake up and buy it, but the coffee I get is usually Lavazza. I always buy whole bean. Grind your own beans, people. Don't eat cockroaches. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, just know that every single grain in the country of America, or I should say just anywhere in general, anywhere you would store grain or little stuff like that you'd crunch up, like beans or anything, it got bugs in it, man. That's just how it is. Like, I don't make the rules. Bugs like those places. It's dark. Sometimes it's damp. It's got food all around them. They can make a nest. You ever see a cockroach nest in coffee beans? Probably not. They grind it up all the same. You know where they put those beans? K-cups. K-cups. Oh, yeah, and ground bags. Yeah. You know, I don't even know if it's safe to get a coffee from somewhere. But, hey, look, if you drink coffee and you're getting like a sore throat or you don't feel good, you're probably allergic to cockroaches. You know, food for thought, or in this case, drink for thought. I would probably stop. I would stop drinking ground coffee, and I'd grind my own. As I do, though. I wake up every morning. I get my beans. I make a mix of beans. I buy a bag of espresso from Lavazza, and I buy a bag of whatever I want. Sometimes I do a pour over, which is usually a more darker roast, which, contrary to popular belief, dark roast doesn't mean it's stronger. It just means it tastes stronger or richer. A light roast, now that's where it's at. Basically, the longer you roast the bean, the less strong it is as far as caffeine-wise. So if you want a nice, good kick in your ass, get you a little light roast. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh, I buy Death Wish and it's dark as shit. Yeah, man, that's, they put caffeine in it. If you want just regular caffeine from a coffee bean, I mean, light roast, okay? So, I buy a bag of espresso beans. I buy a bag of whatever beans I want. Usually it's medium, dark, light, doesn't matter. Just buy something. And I half and half in like a little glass, like a sealable glass container. And I mix them around, and I do another little half and half, mix them around again until I fill it up. It's even, half and half, espresso and regular, okay? Now, I know there are some baristas that are going to be watching this, and you're going to be thinking, wow, okay, so you're making your own this, or you're making your own style of this. Yeah, sure. I don't really care. I'm not into it to the point where I'll name it I make up my own names. So what you might call a Americano, I call Tuesday. Okay? Tuesday or Wednesday. Shoot, sometimes I even do instant coffee. And like contrary to popular belief, once again, sorry I keep using that phrase, but a lot of people think that instant coffee is just, I don't know, not as good, tastes kind of burnt. It's just freeze dried. That's all it is. It's just freeze dried coffee. Sometimes it's coffee beans. I mean, it's nothing different than what's in a K pod. You ever like shake a little K cup? You can hear it in there, and you get done using it, and you shake it again. There's nothing in there. Instant coffee. Wake up. I say all that to say, I grind my beans in the morning. I do about 3 scoops of beans, grind it. I put it in a coffee filter. I put it in my drip. I have a little thing that sits above a coffee mug. It's a single serve dripper. I can drip for both me and my wife. Sometimes on work days, because we both take travel mugs, I'll do like 4 or 5 scoops. That way I can make it the same flavor throughout. It's not going to lose its validity, density, richness. And I'll brew 2 out of that. So most people would say it's not going to taste the same. And you'd be correct to say that it would or wouldn't, I should say. It's hard to explain. So usually the first brew that you brew through is like really rich. And see, that's the flavor profile my wife likes. So I brew hers first. The second one takes a little bit longer. So you get more of the caffeine, you get more of the earthy flavor. I like that. So I take the second. And once again, if you're a barista and you want to do the science in the comments, by all means you can. But if you call me wrong, I'm just going to argue with you. Even if I know I'm wrong, I'm going to argue with you anyway. That's just how I am. I don't care. You came to my page to argue. You look silly. I'll look silly with you. I don't care. We can do it. But I say this all to say, once you start getting into this, once you become a coffee connoisseur in your own way, right? Because once again, I'm not a barista. I don't want to make coffee my life or do that. But I enjoy something different. Like for instance, every now and again, I'll put a little pumpkin spice into the actual grounds, or I'll use a little pumpkin shot because it's that time of year, And once again, I'm in autumn. Meme aside, I really am a fall guy. LOL. Not a fall guy or playing Fall Guys, but I enjoy the fall, the season. I feel like I had to specify since I'm on the internet. But with that being said, I'm done tugging on your ear about coffee, about games. There's nothing in the news this week that I care to touch on. And I don't get political because I just don't. I don't do that. You shouldn't either. Just remember, if you wouldn't say it in front of your mom and dad, and you wouldn't say it in front of your boss, probably shouldn't put it on the internet. And I would do all of these things that I'm doing in front of both of them. Therefore, I'm going to keep doing it. So, be on the lookout for more episodes like this, where we sit, or I sit, depends on who's here. I probably should touch on that at some point. So, both my co-hosts, No Name and Angel, both are from the Bucket Brigade, and you can see our streams and you can see our podcasts on the Bucket Brigade channel. We do that over there. It's a good time. It's fun. I will be having other guest stars on this podcast throughout the duration of it. I refuse to let this die before 10 episodes. News and Theory podcast kind of died just because there's nothing really new to touch on right now that I'm as invested in as Monster Hunter. So I don't want News and Theory to die off, but it might. This is probably where we're going to put all my efforts. So just know, if I have nothing to touch on, I will figure it out, and we'll talk about whatever. And they will be going a little bit longer than our stereotypical 5 to 10 to even 15 minutes. I figured most people on their way to work or on their commutes, they probably want to listen to more than just a little bit. Plus, I noticed audiobooks are becoming bigger nowadays. Speaking of audiobooks, not sponsored, get a library card and then download an app called Libby. That's Libby. I guess, and I haven't tried it, but my wife swears by it. You can use this app and you can put holds on books, and it's an audio book. It's all free. All you need is a library card. And you can have up to, I think it's like 10 library cards. And you can put holds on any book in that library. It's super cool. The concept's great. It's free. It's not like Audible. So I'm definitely going to start doing it. I just need to get me a library card everywhere I go. I can't get a library card. And plus, did you know some places have library cards that charge you an annual fee? Yeah, fuck that. I'm not doing all that. I'm not doing that. I am not doing that. Why would I pay for a library card? That's like paying for Xbox Game Pass. What are y'all doing? You tell me it's free, but it's not free. You're not getting a free game. You don't own any of that. Xbox just gives you stuff, and you pay them. None of it's yours. If I were to go on my Xbox account today, I can launch any game I want, because I own them all. I bought them. I don't do that subscription shit. Our world is turning into a subscription world, by the way. I don't know if you noticed, but we used to complain. Now, for those of you that are a little bit younger, maybe you don't remember this, but maybe you do. This could be at the cusp of when you became conscious. It's not a dig. It's not a dig. I promise. I just know I'm making my traumatized millennial generation laugh because I know I'm funny. But there used to be a time where TV prices for like cable and all that fun jazz, it was so expensive. Ridiculous. People were paying up to $130 just for I don't want to say subscription, but like for their service. They would pay like up to $100. It would depend, because you could bundle. Remember, like bundling became like huge in the early 2000s. Like if you had Time Warner Cable, you could do your phone and your TV and your internet all in one for $250. Now, obviously, it's different everywhere you go, but that's insane. Now, cable prices have dropped because these streaming services, they came out of the woodworks. Netflix was like, hey, you know what? We're done. We're done doing this whole, you send us what you want, we send you the DVD, you watch it, you mail it back. We're not doing that no more. Mainly because Redbox actually, I think, now, this is a theory, okay? So don't hold me to this, but doesn't Redbox and Netflix, because Netflix is, their colors is red and black, and Redbox is red and white. And it kind of seemed like maybe they're the same thing, or maybe some people split off from Netflix. I don't know. I don't want to say or comment on anything I don't know. Just throwing it out there in the earth. Who knows? I could be right. Maybe someone in the comments could let me know. Could let all of us know. But Netflix comes out. You're now able to go online. You can log into your account online. Whoa, this is all new. And boom, you're watching all the movies and TV at your fingertips that you would normally have to order through the mail. Well, I should say it was just movies. Sorry, it was just movies. Then they got TV shows. Then they started doing exclusives. It was one after another, and Netflix became so popular, right? Hulu comes out with their own. HBO comes out with their own. Every channel on TV, you name it. History Channel, Discovery Channel. Amazon gets their own, right? Google has the YouTube, right? It has YouTube TV, Google TV. All this stuff, all these different streaming services, Disney Plus, all of them. And if you want to be able to watch what you want to watch, you have to have subscriptions. Everything is about subscriptions, man. Everything. And that's kind of that sucks. That sucks. That's the world we live in, though. So, if any of you, well, I don't want to endorse stealing, okay? Because I don't do it. I would never steal. That's illegal. But if you have any like fancy overpowered websites, like I know there's this guy on TikTok that talks about like powerful websites you should know about. And then he talks about like there's this one website where you can just click on a button and it lists all the movies that, go with this filter, and you can just keep on filtering. Or you can search for like specifics. It's pretty cool. I enjoy that. The concept's cool. It's there. It makes sense, I guess. Let's see. I think that's all my talking points. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up here. We're at about 30-ish, 35-ish minutes here. It's good enough for me. I appreciate all of you for tuning in. Be prepared. Content like this will start coming out regularly. I'm trying to find a good schedule for the Gentlest of Men podcast. I don't have a for sure one yet. It was supposed to be Mondays and Fridays and have like one episode be the news for the week and then the next episode be like the news from the weekend. And I don't know. I don't know if I enjoy that schedule a lot because sometimes I don't have anything to talk about. So I'd like to almost do it once a week. If I have something, I can just do it in this kind of setting, in this kind of format. I think it works better too, to be honest. And that way I can gauge my time. I have my talking points. And if I do have someone on the show with me, we can kind of banter back and forth. And it seems a little bit more natural as well. So I'll end it with this. Wherever you are right now, I hope you're about to have a good day. Drive safe, be well. And if you do anything crazy, don't name it after me. Name it after you, because you chose that, and you have to live with that for however long you did it. Yeah. LOL. Kidding, but not kidding, but still kind of kidding. Be well, be safe. At minimum, do that. Be well, be safe. If you're driving on your way to work this morning, be safe. I'm sure the roads can only get worse as the seasons get colder. And if you're on your way to bed, rub them legs together like a grasshopper. It's the only way to get comfortable, and you know it. Don't be embarrassed. Play the song of your people. Because I will be playing the song of my people, which is in B minor. Believe it or not. So, I leave you all with that. Have a good one, and until next time, good night.